And then
Disneyland was nice.
Disneyland was very nice. But as ladies in the auxiliary, we had to come with white gloves and navy dresses. And we got Marine Bar band marched us into the White House. And we had visiting with President Nixon, and she
Did you have tea in there?
Oh yeah, we had tea. We had tea in the White House. And the next day we seen Nixon take off on the front lawn.
That's a trip we made to China at that time. One of the first trips that ever a president made to China.
We were down when we seen the helicopter coming on the front lawn and picked him up.
No, we had many good trips, many good trips.
So did you have someone living with you all the time until you moved to Minot, until you moved to town? There was always some kids at home with you?
We were never alone.
Until,
never
how
alone.
old were you when you moved to town?
5 years I'm in town now. I think
70, 70, 71.
5 years?
It'll be 5 years in February. That was.
So what do you think of town life?
I'm away from it. I just don't see everything that I had to. But Don really helped us a lot all the time. And a lot of times I had to call. Dad was town or working or something like that, and I had to call in, or the cow was calving or something like that. I was home to watch things, but I couldn't do the work by myself. And then I called Don in from the meat shop.
I worked in Towner for 45 years. Just off and on, off and on.
What did you do?
Well, I was in the office for about 12 years on the county committee. And from there on, I was kind of a field man.
And you measured bins, measured land?
Measured land, and checked this or that.
And now Don does the same type of work that Dad did. And they brag about Don because they didn't have to do any training.
I trained him.
I remember majoring land too.
You do?
Yeah, we all took turns.
Did you all get turned on?
Well, don't you remember Marilyn with the sticks all the
Yeah, I
time?
remember Marilyn was still on too.
Mm-hmm.
That time we had sticks, now we got a wheel.
Did you have any scares in your life? Did you ever think you lost a child anyplace? Did you leave anybody behind?
Was any child real sick that you were very worried about when they were little?
Wayne got left in school, at school one time, the Christmas program, the neighbors had to bring him home. And Kenny, I think, got lost out in the grain field one time. The dog found him.
And Leanne rolled down the hill?
Oh.
Out of the car door?
Out of the car door, she went and rolled down the ditch.
And Dalton was sitting by the riverbank one
He
time?
fell asleep down there.
Every once in a while there's somebody
There
got
was a little excitement, but never no real problem.
Life-death situation.
No life-death situation.
And we always had the best of gatherings for Labor Day. Everybody was home for 2 or 3 days.
Campers and
Campers, everything.
mass,
They run
baptism?
races, and I don't know what all they did something. They had a lot of food and a lot to drink, and it was just,
And we had mass on the farm, and we had
we had baptism on the farm.
2 baptisms on the farm.
What else do you want to tell us about? You want to tell us about last year we had a miracle? Mom's still with us today?
Yeah, remember Mom? Last year, December 8th, she just collapsed out here, and I didn't know why I picked her up, and she wouldn't talk to me, she wouldn't, so I called 911, and I called Diane, and Diane was here just in no time at all. The policeman came, and I think the ambulance was here in about 2.5 minutes. I watched them a little bit, but I couldn't watch what they're doing. But she went to the hospital for about, they were going to take the respirator off in 24 hours. In the meantime, she opened up her eyes. In about 20 hours, she opened up her eyes, and then everybody thought, well, she's getting better, she's getting better. And then from there on, she did get better and better. But she said she didn't remember a thing in the hospital at all what was going on.
The only thing, I don't know if I dreamed or what I did, but I remember so well, and that comes right into mind. My mother came walking towards me with her hands out like that. and she didn't say a word or anything, and that's just, then that awakened for me. And then I don't recall anything until I walked out of the hospital. And you guys all said I talked right, I answered your questions. And I don't recall that.
How many grandchildren do you have?
We have 10 now.
Oh, 10 great-grandchildren.
Oh,
How-
10.
How
Oh.
many grandchildren?
Oh, 34, yes.
The 10
The
great-grandchildren.
10 great-grandchildren. And the little ones are the best to us. They come to us. The big ones, they kind of shy away from us already, the big grandchildren. They're getting older. But just last night, Doug and Amy were here with their 2 children again.
What else would you like to talk about?
What were some of your fondest memories?
When I came home with a baby. That was, even in the hospital, they always thought, well, I don't bring too much. I said, no, when I come home, there's a whole bunch of them that are happy. I recall so well, Ellen was, with Ellen, with Kenny, when I came out with maternity dress, and he said, no, not again. And he was the first one that came with the camera when I came home from the hospital. And there was a joy then to know they were happy when I came home with a new baby.
How did your mom and dad pass away?
My mother was, well, she had only one kidney for 20 years. She had her first surgery in Rochester, Minnesota. And then they said, oh, she could live with one kidney for 20 years. Dialysis wasn't in yet then. And then just shortly before, she would have been 20 years old. 20 years past the kidney removed. And then she was sick in the hospital 1 week. And then she died. She had a big kidney infection and so on. And then she just passed away. She had so much high fever and infection. And Pa Lear had cancer. He had lung cancer.
And how old were they?
Mother was 64 when she died, and Dad was 69.
And how about your parents, Dad?
My dad had cancer. Well, I think it started about spring, May or so, he found out he had cancer. And they told him about maybe he's got 6 months to live, and he did make 3 months. He died now because there was cancer at that time. And he was 74 years old. My mother died when she was 77. We went to visit her. She had company that night. And no, she didn't want to go. She, I can't go. I've got company. And I think we called her to mind, or took her to mind, and I think she died on the way it, but she walked out to the car. She did
We put a
everything.
respirator on her immediately when we got there.
But she walked out to the car, and but she couldn't go. We told her, let's go to the doctor. Let's go. I can't, she said. I got company.
And then she died the next day.
And the next morning at
Well, really,
6.
I think she died on the car. When we were out by the KOA or something like that, I think she, and then the doctor asked too, how long has she been out? Maybe 5, 10 minutes or 10 minutes. We told about, well then too, he did the same way with Mom was out. The doctor said, how long was she out? I'd say, I didn't know, I'd say 5 minutes. I don't know how much time goes so fast at that time. And that too, they were worried about if there'd be brain damage or something. But I gotta say, when Mom was down, everybody just coming, everything went so fast, so fast.
I don't think we mentioned your 12 children. Let's mention the names of the 12 children.
I don't know.
Marilyn was born in 47, and of course she was the first girl, and I was very excited. And we were thrashing at the time on the farm, and I went in. I had all 12 children induced, and then they just come automatically. There was no questioning ever about another child or anything like that. No, we had another child. That was, but Dad always says the more the merrier. And he did, he enjoyed every time, and he was good in the house to babysit. When he was through his chores out there, he'd sit in there in the house, he would rock you guys. when I did all the other type of work in the house, but he,
Well, tell all the kids' names of the year they were born.
okay, Miriam was born in 1947, Ellen in 49, Artis in 51, Wayne in 52, Leanne in 53, Diane in 55, Delvin in 58, 56 Delvin, 58 Neil, 60 Don, 62 Joel, 65 Kenny, and 69 Kathy.
The doctor asked her those questions when she was coming to in the hospital, and she knew everyone and the year they were born. And the doctor said, he kind of shook his head. That he thought there was something wrong with that type too. He thought maybe there's some brain damage, but after he heard that, it sounded pretty good to him. And the doctor said too that we thanked the doctor many times that how good he did, whatever he did to save her. Well, he said too, don't thank me, thank the one above. The doctor said that many times.
And when we got there the first time, he said, how much better am I now?
He'd give you 250% better. But that first night, I think every doctor that come there did not have any hopes for you. I don't think there was any.
And then she got out of the hospital on the 18th. And on the 24th, there was 42 people here for supper.
It was.
Yeah. Yeah, for soup. It's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, that was our old tradition. Did Ma have soup or Ribla made soup that
Yeah.
time?
What other traditions did you have?
So that was always Christmas. That was her Ribla soup. She had to make that. And then everything that goes with it.
Open presents on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
Now, we at home in our house never had, we had a Christmas tree, but there was never no gifts. And I happened to be the youngest in the family. But I do remember getting a doll once when my folks were great, and I sat on the lap, on my mother's lap coming home. I don't know how old I was, but it wasn't Christmas. But I got a doll, and Paul Lear then teased me, yeah, today I'm going home with 2 babies. And I don't, but we don't.
Talking about Christmas, we had a neighbor that were diapers that time. One of the girls got a doll for Christmas, and she took good care of it, kept it in a box and everything. So the next Christmas, she got it again. She tells that story a lot of times. You took good care of it, you got it for Christmas again the following year.
There was no presents when you were kids?
Very little. We got like apples or oranges. We had our treats were apples or oranges or peanuts, bag of peanuts or something.
And I heard you were the Santa for Christmas sometimes at Braintree?
My dad was Santa, I was Santa. I was Santa in school in Braintree and in Carlsford.
Well, is there anything else you can think of?
That's good for you.